Gurubhyo Namaha. This is Muthu Meenakshi from Pon Vidyashram. I welcome everyone to the next session on Class 8 Mathematics, Chapter 3 Understanding Quadrilaterals. Here we will be completing this chapter by completing the remaining problems from exercise 3.3 and the complete exercise 3.4. Children, before starting with today's session, we'll see what is the meaning for the word learn. Learn, reflect, solve, create, grow and think. Reflect, solve, create, grow and think. So for L it is reflect, for E it is solve, for A it is create, for R it is grow, for N it is think. Now let us start our today's session. This is a continuation of exercise 3.3. In the previous session, till problem number 6 we have completed. Now we are going to start with question number 7. The adjacent figure HOPE is a parallelogram. Find the angle measures X, Y and Z. State the properties you use to find them. Let us discuss the solution, children. In the given figure, they have given you that HOPE is a parallelogram. I hope now all are clear with the properties of parallelogram. Here, angle HOP, that is this angle, plus angle 70 degree will form a linear pair. So HOP plus 70 is equal to 180. The value for HOP is equal to 180 minus 70, that is equal to 110 degree. Now it is angle E and angle HOP, that is this one HOP, this angle we have found it out as 110. Yes or no? It is 110. So angle HOP is equal to angle E because they both are opposite angles of parallelogram. So we can conclude the value for X is 110 degree. Now next it is angle PHE. Angle PHE. So angle PHE is equal to angle HPO. So angle PHE, that is this 40 degree, is equal to angle HPO, that is 70 degree, because they both are alternate angles. So now the value for Y is equal to 40 degree. Now angle EHO is equal to O, that is angle EHO, this full angle, that is 40 plus Z is equal to 70 degree, because they both are corresponding angles. From this you can find out the value for Z. So Z is equal to 70 minus 40, that is 30 degree. To conclude, the solution for this problem is X is equal to 110 degree, Y is equal to 40 degree and Z is equal to 30 degree. We are using all the properties of parallelogram. Now it is question number 8. The following figures GUNS and RUNS are parallelograms. First subdivision, you have to find the unknown value of X and Y. Look at the figure, children. In the figure, GUNS is a parallelogram. Therefore, its opposite sides are equal. So opposite sides means GS, this side GS is equal to the side UN, and similarly this side GU is equal to the side SN. Hence 3x is equal to 18, which will give you the value for x as 18 by 3, that is nothing but 6, and similarly 3y minus 1 is equal to 26, that is equal to 3y is equal to 26 plus 1, that is 27. So y is equal to 9. To conclude, the solution for this problem is X is equal to 6 and Y is equal to 9. Now it is subdivision 2. In previous subdivision we have seen for GUNS. Now it is subdivision 2, that is RUNS. Again it is a parallelogram. Here also you have to find out the unknown values of X and Y. Moreover, you also know that in a parallelogram, the diagonals bisect each other. Therefore, you can say OR is equal to ON. Now take this point as O. So OR is equal to ON. That is 16 is equal to x plus y. Similarly, the other side, that is OU is equal to OS. That is 20 is equal to y plus 7. So now the value for y is equal to 20 minus 7, that is equal to 13 degree. Now you have got the value for y as y is equal to 13. So substitute this value in this equation. Hence you can get the value for x. So x is equal to 16 minus 13, that is 3. To conclude, the solution for this problem is x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 13. Now it is question number 9. In the above figure, RISK and CLUE are parallelograms. Find the value of x. So in parallelogram RISK, we have opposite angles to be equal. So look at the figure. In the figure, the opposite angles, that is RIS, that is the value for RIS, that is equal to RKS. So I can say RIS is equal to RKS. So both are equal. Hence you can say, because they both are opposite angles, so now you can find out the value for OIC by using linear pair property. Angle OIC is equal to 180 minus RIS. Therefore the value for OIC is equal to 180 minus 120, that is 60 degree. Now in the parallelogram CLUE, that is the next this parallelogram CLUE, again CE is parallel to LU and the transversal, there is a transversal that is intersecting it, that is ICL is a transversal. You can take the corresponding angles to be equal, that is ICO is equal to CLU. Therefore angle ICO is equal to 70 degree. Now look at the figure once again. In triangle OIC, let us consider this point to be O. In triangle OIC, we will apply angle sum property. By using angle sum property, angle IOC plus angle OIC plus angle ICO is equal to 180 degree. That is nothing but IOC plus 60 plus 70 is equal to 180 degree. Therefore angle IOC is equal to 180 minus 60 minus 70, that is nothing but 50 degree. As we have got the value for this angle to be 50 degree, this 50 and this x, they both are vertically opposite angles. To conclude, x is equal to IOC, that is nothing but 50 degree. Now it is question number 10. Explain how this figure is a trapezium, which of its two sides are parallel. Since we can say the value for KLM, that is this angle KLM 80 degree plus this NML 100 degree is equal to 180. The pair of consecutive interior angles are supplementary. Hence KL is parallel to NM. Therefore KLMN is a trapezium. Question number 11. You have to find the measure of angle C in this figure 3.3. They have also added you one more condition stating that AB is parallel to DC. Here AB is parallel to DC and there is a transversal, that is BC. Hence you can say sum of interior angles are supplementary. That is angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. That is 120 plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. So to conclude, angle C is equal to 180 minus 120, that is nothing but 60 degree. Therefore the measurement of angle C is 60 degree. Now it is question number 12 of exercise 3.3. Find the measure of angle P and angle S if SP is parallel to RQ in the figure 3.34. If you find measurement of angle R, is there more than one method to find measurement of angle P? Children, we have two different methods. They have also asked you the other method. So first let us discuss the first method. Since SP is parallel to RQ and PQ is a transversal, you can say the measure of angle P plus angle Q is 180 degree. That is, sum of adjacent angles or sum of interior angles are supplementary. Using this property, angle P plus 130 is equal to 180. Therefore, the value for P is 180 minus 130, that is nothing but 50 degree. Again, SP, side SP is parallel to RQ and SR is a transversal. So again you can say S plus R is equal to 180 degree. The value for R is 90 degree. So S plus 90 is equal to 180 and S is equal to 180 minus 90, that is also equal to 90 degree. Now we have got the values of this S and R to be 90 degree. They have asked you, is there any other method for finding the measurement of P and the other unknown value? We can also find this one by using ASP property of quadrilateral. That is, sum of measure of all the four angles of quadrilateral is 360 degree. Therefore, P plus Q plus R plus X, sum of all the four angles is equal to 360 degree. That is nothing but measurement of P plus 130 plus 90 plus 90 is equal to 360. Therefore, the value for P is 360 minus 310, that is equal to 50 degree. This completes this exercise. Now, the last exercise for this chapter, children, that is exercise 3.4. Problem number 1. State whether the following statements are true or false. Question number A. All rectangles are squares. It is false. B. All rhombus are parallelogram. It is true. Question number C. That is, all squares are rhombus and also rectangle. Again, it is true. Subdivision D. All squares are not parallelograms. That is, it is false. E. All kites are rhombus. No. So, it is false. F. All rhombus are kites. Yes, it is true. All parallelograms are trapezium. It is true. All squares are trapezium. It is true. So, to conclude, subdivision B, C and F, G, H all are true statements. You will be familiar with this only if you are thorough with the properties of quadrilaterals. Question number 2 of exercise 3.4. Identify all the quadrilaterals that have subdivision A 4 sides of equal length, subdivision B 4 right angles. For option A, the quadrilateral which has 4 sides of equal length, it can be either a square or rhombus, because for both square and a rhombus all the sides are equal. Now 4 right angles, again both your square and rectangle will have all the 4 to be right angles. So 4 right angles, the answer is it can be either square or rectangle. 4 sides of equal length, it can be either square or rhombus. Question number 3. Explain how a square is subdivision 1 a quadrilateral, subdivision 2 a parallelogram, subdivision 3 a rhombus and subdivision 4 a rectangle. Now, a square is 4-sided. It is a 4-sided figure, no children? So, it is called as a quadrilateral. Second, how a square is a parallelogram? As the opposite sides are parallel and also they are equal, then hence you can conclude a square to be a parallelogram. Third one, how a square is rhombus? A square is a parallelogram with all the 4 sides as equal measurement. So, you can say a square is a rhombus. Last one, how a square is rectangle? A square is a parallelogram with each angle as right angle. So, for square and rectangle both, every angle is right angle. Hence, you can say a square is a rectangle. Again, we are just making ourselves clear with the properties of all the quadrilaterals. Now, it is question number 4. Name the quadrilaterals whose diagonals subdivision 1 bisect each other, subdivision 2 are perpendicular bisectors of each other, and subdivision 3 are equal. For the first one, the quadrilaterals whose diagonals bisect each other can be a parallelogram, rhombus, square or rectangle. Now subdivision 2 are perpendicular bisectors of each other. The quadrilateral whose diagonals are perpendicular bisectors of each other can be rhombus or a square. Subdivision 3 are equal. The quadrilateral whose diagonals are equal can be square or a rectangle. Now fifth problem. Explain why a rectangle is a convex quadrilateral. Children, since the measure of each angle is less than 180 degree and also both the diagonals of rectangle lie wholly in its interior, you can conclude a rectangle to be a convex quadrilateral. The last problem for the chapter, for the exercise. ABC is a right angle triangle and O is the midpoint of the side opposite to the right angle. Explain why O is equidistant from A, B and C. So we have just taken dotted lines to make ourselves clear. What we are going to do is reduce BO. We are going to extend this line BO to the point D such that this side BO and OD are both equal. Now we are going to join this AD along with DC. Then we are getting the figure ABCD to be a rectangle. In the rectangle ABCD, the diagonals AC and BD are equal and bisect each other at the point O. So you can say OA is equal to OC and OB equal to OD. But in rectangle the diagonals are also equal, that is AC is equal to BD. Therefore OA will be equal to OB, that is equal to OC, is also equal to OD. To conclude, thus O is equidistant from all the 3 points A, B and C. This completes this exercise. This also completes this chapter. So hereby we are completing all the 3 chapters, that is chapter 1 rational numbers, chapter 2 linear equations in one variable and chapter 3 understanding quadrilaterals. Children, math is nothing but the mistakes which allow thinking to happen. Thank you, children.